Kaizer Chiefs have certainly had their share of ups and downs in the year of 2023. But what if I said to you, these things are connected in a very, very impeccable way? And today we're going to look at how one event led to all the events that we've seen from the beginning of 2023 until the draw against Sekhukhune United. Hello and welcome to Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs.
Amakhosi Football Club.
And today we are looking at the chain of events that led to the year. I don't know. I'll let you give me an adjective of how the year has been for Kaizer Chiefs, because to me it's been, I wouldn't even say a roller coaster. I would say this year has been frustrating. Do let me know in my comments, Uguti. How did you find 2023 for Kaizer Chiefs? Was it a good year? Was it a building year? Was it a horrible year? Or was it an excellent year? Now, it starts December, let's not say December 2023, January 2022, because 2023, I mean, because Zwane was coming in to continue coaching Kaizer Chiefs after the FIFA break. And at that time, what had happened is that some players were injured, which is the issue that we'll talk about later on in the video. But with the quality that he had, he was realizing at the time that the promises that he made to us, the Kaizer Chiefs fans, he was not going to fulfill them, because the quality that Kaizer Chiefs had at the time, it was so bad. Well, not like so bad, but it was bad enough that by losing one player, then all of a sudden the team was going to look totally shambolic. And because of that, we really did see that Kaizer Chiefs changed from trying to play this expansive type of football and playing with flair and stuff like that. But what ended up happening is that Sadlala lo Makita Spigane, that Atazwane said, oh, we are done with Makita Spigane. Oh, we are no longer going to be doing that. But guess what? We ended up doing that anyways. But there is good news, because after seeing all of that, Atazwane then submitted what you call a technical report. A technical report is basically saying, hey, these are the strengths and the weaknesses of the team, and these are the players that we need. And actually, I heard that the players that were signed by Kaizer Chiefs, let me now start counting them. First of all, Ditlokwe, Msimango, Castillo, Sibongiseni Mthethwa, Mduduzi Mdantsane, Rangachiva Viro, Gonzalez, Potsane, Modi. All those 9 players that Kaizer Chiefs signed were actually recommended by Atazwan. I don't know about Gonzalez, but I know that the other ones who are local, for certain, they were recommended by Zwan. And remember, even last year, we're talking about the fact that already in January, Chiefs were looking to sign Edson Castillo, but then they ended up signing him in June. So Zwan is the one who actually said, these are the players that I want. And Kaizer Chiefs, to their credit, they went out and they got those players. So we just had a down, but then there was an up, because they then went out and fixed that. But before we even leave that, before we even move on from the signings that we made or the signings that we didn't make, we had another problem from the previous administration, Gatazwan, which is players were getting injured. Like, they are getting awards for who gets injured the most. And we saw this with Utoli, because since the quality was no longer was not as good as we wanted it to be, we ended up depending on Toli so much that when he got injured, then there was no one to replace him. And then even in the Nedbank Cup, that was our last hope, we didn't do anything with it. And then people started having questions about our fitness trainer. And this is a big one, because think about it. How many players have been injured? Even right now, we just had Utoli come back from injury and he's back again in an injury. To me, I've been saying this and I'm going to say this again. Kaizer Chiefs has a fitness coach, Umuzi, right? And I'm not saying they must fire him. I'm saying, fine, he's there as a fitness coach. Why are we not signing a conditioning coach? Because a fitness coach will make sure that the players are fit, but a conditioning coach will make sure that they are conditioned for the type of football that Kaizer Chiefs are trying to play. That is why you'll find that in big teams, they don't just have a fitness coach, but they have a fitness and a conditioning coach. But if you're asking a fitness coach to condition players, then that's where the problem starts. And you are a very big club like Kaizer Chiefs, so we don't think that there are budget constraints when it comes to just getting a freaking conditioning coach. Yeah, let's just take a pause and subscribe to the video, because something weird just happened. Now let's move on to this chain of events, because we sign players that are recommended by Zwane, and then Chiefs decide, hey, Kaizer, Mtaung Jr., they sit together in that boardroom. They're like, you know what? We think that we're going to let Zwane go. But we're going to make him an assistant coach once again. And that did not sit well with Kaizer Mtaung Jr. apparently, but he was in the minority, and then they ended up saying Uzwane is not going to be a coach. Okay, fine, we get it. He doesn't have experience. Fans are growing frustrated with him, but remember, he's the one who recommended these players in the first place. But what do? They go out and they go after Nazreddin Nabi. Now you remove Zwane, but you go after Nazreddin Nabi. We're fine with that, ne? But the problem is they were actually not removing Zwane. They were just repurposing u-Arthur Zwane. It's like plastic ohamba uyoyithenga lapha esitolo for ukufaka amasi ey'ngane, and then you get home, then you use it as a dustbin. They were basically doing that with Arthur Zwane. And Nazreddin Nab was like, you know what, I would rather not have plastic as a Shoprite repurposed to be my dustbin. I would rather bring my own black dustbin papers or plastics. Well, if you missed the analogy there, Nazreddin Nabi wanted to bring his own technical team, and Kaizer Chiefs were like, nope, it's not going to happen. We're giving you Arthur Zwane, that or nothing. And Nazreddin Nabi was like, okay, it's fine. I'm going to go and coach a team up north. And he went and he's doing really well. And Kaizer Chiefs now were caught because they didn't know what to do at that point, because they were like, oh my days, we've removed Zwane now, so we're clear that we don't want him to be coach. So now what are we gonna do? We don't have a plan. So what do they end up doing? They say, you know what, there is a head of technical by the name of Mlifintsegi, and since Jessica Mtaung is such a very, very good person in convincing the audience and controlling the narrative, was like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna say Mlifintsegi is hired as the head coach because he's been around in any case, and we're promoting him, and we're gonna make Uzwane his assistant alongside Dylan Shepard, which is nonsensical, because that was not the truth. The truth is they had removed Zwane, they decided to remove Uzwane, but they actually were not willing to do whatever it takes to have a coach who's going to come in and win. So what did they do? They decided to take a coach who's very inexperienced in terms of winning things, because you can bring on any other coach in the PSL who has been doing well for their club, but if you haven't won a single thing in your name, foot, you mustn't be a person who has won one thing as a coach to make it at Kaizer Chiefs. You must be a serial winner, because we don't want people who are going to be like Kevin Johnson and talk about taking a point away from Sekukune, and you're saying you're taking a point away. We don't take a point away from anyone. We win. That's what we do all the time. So what is happening here is that they then make up this story about Mlifintsegi being a good fit, and then guess what? 3 months later, they fired him, which is something that they don't usually do. But this time around, fans were so mad. I went to Mpumalanga, the fans threw things at him. I went to Limpopo, fans threw things at him. And then against Sundowns, fans threw things at him. I was there again, Bejuk jail. And then the last straw was when he lost against Amazulu, and that was basically it, and then Untsego was gone. But before that happened, they were realizing that Untsego is not cutting it. And before Chiefs went to Limpopo to play against Supersport, on that day, Usbong Senemteto arrived at Chiefs. But what they were also doing behind the scenes, they were positioning Kevin Johnson in a position whereby if and when the situation of Mlifintsegi escalated, they could be ready to replace him. And guess what happened? When they ended up firing Mlifintsegi, they then replaced him with who? Kevin Johnson. And now we're in a situation where we're told that the new coach is going to come end of the season. But if you think about it, that's highly unlikely to happen, because now we're in a situation where Kevin Johnson has coached 7 games, has lost 2, has won 4, and has drawn 1. And to some people, that sounds great, because, I mean, the man has won 3 games in a row, but how did we win those 3 games? The same way that we ended up drawing the game last night. The same way that we considered 2 goals against Cape Town Spurs. There are still a lot of gaps that need to be fixed, but the Kaizer Chiefs management at this point are still looking to do whatever it takes to be safe enough financially, but also to still be able to control the narrative that we're still the biggest club in South African football. Yet that's not actually happening, because yes, we might have closed the Kappa deal, might have gotten the best t-shirts that there are in South African football, but the point is, out there in the field of play, we're not make sure. And they are not going to make a decision right now that proves that they still really and desperately want to win. But what they are doing right now is just bare minimum to say, you know what, Kevin Johnson is good with young players, so let's bring him out. But look at the young players. How much game time are they actually getting? Umshin is not a young player. Samkelo Zwane was really good under Atazwane, but all of a sudden under Kevin Johnson, he's now looking too relaxed. He's looking like he's not serious. Umtutuzi Mdantsane is not. Umtutuzi Shabalala is now a shadow of what he used to be. So now, which young players is he actually bringing up? Because what I'm saying right now is just Mlifinsegi with better luck in winning goals and who has a better goalkeeper, because under Mlifinsegi, uPeterson ubemdlisa. But manje sekuno Bruce Bvuma who's making sure that he's keeping clean sheets. Because ask yourself, how many games we would have lost under Kevin Johnson if he was selecting Brendan Peterson? Yes, I know that's the coach's brilliance that he, or decision that he chose to pick up Bruce Bvuma. But I will tell you now, that's not really the case, because Bruce Bvuma has been the goalkeeper under Kevin Johnson, because Brendan Peterson was already having psychological issues and then made another mistake against Golden Arrows, and then he was forced to bench him. And then Bruce comes in and then he saves the day after Ukone was also suspended. So Bruce Bvuma has been an option, not an option. They were actually forced to choose him because of the things that were happening with the other goalkeepers. And now we're benching Umart, we're sending him home, we're benching Castillo, and we're sending him home for holidays earlier than any other player. Why? Because we want to play Castillo, we want to play Mart, whatever it takes, and we don't want to take him out even when he's tired. That's not Mart's fault. But you're looking at the coaching and you see that the coach still has fear in how he does things. And we don't need that. And Kaizer Chiefs have decided that they are not going to remove him, because their plan is the same way that they had with Atazwane. They placed him strategically so that at some point they make him a senior coach. But they are letting him audition for senior coach instead of doing what? Instead of just getting a coach who's proven who can do things for Kaizer Chiefs. And that coach is Pitso Msimane. That's just me. But do let me know, what did you make of Kaizer Chiefs' year? Was it a good year? Was it frustrating? Or is it better than the other years? Do let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are enjoying the new year. And if you're watching on the 31st, ungene kahle enyakeni omusha, enjoy, be responsible. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember, equals, aliphela umoya.